Hello there, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to your weekly Astrology Numerology forecast for the 22nd of September through the 28th. Now this forecast is for all signs. We cover selected highlights coming up in the week, and what a week it is. We're nearing the end of such a dynamic, intense month, eclipse month, an 18-9 universal month, which means we have a 999 code of purging, culminations, letting go activated, which we have all year long, but it's coming to a head this month. And we have an incredible week because there's an activation that brings the eclipse cycle to a head, and more on that in a moment. First of all, we'll start with the first highlight. It's on the 22nd of September. That is the equinox, when the sun moves into Libra and begins autumn in the northern hemisphere and spring in the southern hemisphere. In fact, in some of the southern hemisphere, for example, parts of Africa and Asia and Australia and New Zealand, it happens on the 23rd, the equinox that is. So the sun enters Libra. It will spend 30 days in Libra, this season of coming together to be with others, to relate with others, to have a sense of harmony, diplomacy, peace, a beautiful sign ruled by Venus. And then we have Mars entering Scorpio the same day, which is very indicative of how we are merging the dark and light, the left and right, the masculine, feminine energies. We are literally coming together as one, and that is the whole message for us, to empower us from within, so we're not feeling like we have to feel weaker or lower than. So the whole message here is, all week long, is to bring you to that place of spiritual sustenance, which happens to really activate on the next day, the 23rd of September, when the sun is opposite Neptune. The sun is trine Uranus. We got this triangle of spirituality, imagination, creativity, ethereal and mystical energy, and also needing time to just rest, recuperate, meditate, digest, assimilate. And then we also have sun trine Uranus. So sun opposite Neptune, sun trine Uranus creates the triangle. And Uranus is, of course, the planet that rules Aquarius. Very important. We're entering the Aquarian age slowly but surely. And this transit brings another invitation to be open to change, be very flexible, allow yourself to accept that things are literally shifting and nothing will ever be the same again. And therefore focus on forward momentum as opposed to looking back, right? This is a very beautiful, independent energy when the sun trines Uranus. And then, speaking of Aquarius, we have Pluto trine to the sun. Pluto's at 1 degrees Aquarius. And that is on the 24th of September. And it's a very empowering, positive transit. And it helps you with confidence, self-assertion, accountability, diving into mysterious topics, unveiling or uncovering secrets that help you feel more positive because you see the truth, right? Pluto rules Scorpio. It's the modern ruler of Scorpio. And speaking of Scorpio, the ancient ruler, Mars, on the same day is square to Pluto. And not only that, the moon joins Mars at that very moment on that degree at 1 degree Scorpio, with moon and Mars together in a 90-degree angle to Pluto at 1 degree Aquarius. This is very, very powerful energy where we've got this explosive, almost volcanic, really, it's like shaking things up. And it needs an outlet because when the two planetary rulers of Scorpio come together, we need to channel our passion into something that is creative. And even, physical movement is important as well to release the tension, the energy. And that way you are free and clear to feel encouraged, to not feel weaker than or lower than anyone else. And that way we focus on what only we can create in our life, which is that we are literally the creators of how we perceive and accept the conditions and also help create the conditions by virtue of how we are showing up right now. And that's what this square is asking us to do in a big, big way. So if anything comes up for you that feels like it's pulling you into drama or into separation or division, this will be a time to take the bird's eye view, alchemize, and really transform that energy with Pluto's help into harmony, into courage, into stepping up. So this is also about truth. The truth shall set you free energy, and it is an important time to allow and to surrender. And speaking of surrender, I have a Pluto masterclass for you, Pluto and Aquarius masterclass that specifically focuses on this time in our life. You can watch it at shiftfortheages.com. It is free. It's called Pluto and Aquarius, Astrology Shift for the Ages. And what we focus on is how Pluto and Aquarius through 2044 is going to impact your life, what to look out for, how to prepare, how to use this stunning freedom and power frequency. Freedom Aquarius, power Pluto. We'll look at the 11 previous Pluto and Aquarius periods in history, because history gives us an unmatched perspective. You get powerful guidance by looking at these 11 previous cycles. And we use an ancient forecasting technique to split these 20 years into 5 segments and see how each segment is going to be impacting us. And we look at the most recent Pluto in Aquarius period, which happened between 1777 and 1798, what it tells us about the likely outcomes between now and 2044, and so much more. And it's all free. You can watch it at shiftfortheages.com. Enjoy that. Have a beautiful week. Focus on calmness and serenity, and allow what comes to you to not take you off course, but to keep you like the Libra energy that gets birthed at the beginning of the week, to stay balanced and in harmony. So enjoy the week, and I will see you in next week's forecast. Lots of love.